Hey guys, welcome back to Vince-Vell Custom. So today I got kind of a cool little project I came up with. This is a custom bases made for the heads of Joker Premium Format and Harley Quinn Premium Format. Now a while back I did a bunch of broken Joker heads with custom bases, and a lot of people were asking me, they're interested in the base but they don't want the head. So I was like, it's kind of a package deal and everything, and so I decided, when I got my Harley Quinns, I was like, you know what, let's make a custom head base for her. So as I was working on her, came up with the idea of kind of like stylized, like it's Harley's, neck piece, but then I put the suits at the bottom, the heart and the diamond, and then I put the other two suits in the back. I try to paint it as close, or at least stylized to the base, so it gives you kind of a scale. She goes in and out, no problem. I'll leave it up to people if they're interested. They can get their own magnets and they can magnetize this one because you really don't need it. So that's kind of what I came up with, and I also designed it to the point where I made sure that it wasn't top heavy, because certain heads, if you put it on the base and you kind of shake the shelf, it could kind of topple over. So I made sure that it wasn't top heavy at all. So it's just casted up in resin, as you can kind of see. I painted up black at the bottoms, and it worked out pretty good. So after I did that one, I was like, you know what, I had this one last Joker head left, and it was the one that had the golf visor that was just a regular head. So I had that sitting there, and never really moved, nobody was interested. So I said, you know what, let's take that head and use it as a a piece that I can make a custom Joker base now that actually people will be interested in. If they want a base, I have them available. So I was working on it, and I wanted to make sure this wasn't top heavy either, but I wanted to keep it like the Harley. So a little bit of work on it. I decided to say, let's try to keep it in sync. And so what I did is I came up with the same bottom of the base, and then I put the other two suits in the front, so this way you can see those. And then I decided, let's go with his tie, his collar, his jacket with the little flower, but stylized, kind of like a base. So it's not like, oh, it looks like a real bust. It's kind of like a stylized base that actually fits both heads, so it works out pretty cool. So as you can kind of see, this one though, it needs a magnet. So I actually do a video later on in this video of how to actually attach the magnet for your head, because it's like, if you put a magnet in there and you don't make sure it's the positive or negative is in the right size, the head just kind of pops out. You got to have it make sure. So as you can see with this one, it's got, you lift up the head and it's magnetized. So it comes out and it's magnetized, and I put the magnet in there and it worked out pretty good. So, but I was also making sure, I was like, I working on this Harley Quinn here. As you can see, this is one of the other exclusives that had an extra head. Actually, this is the regular. But what I did was I chopped off the ears and I sculpted on ears onto her. And I had the extra ear parts, from this one. So I was like, you know what? Let's put this on the Joker and let's make the Joker worked out. Because I figure if this head won't topple over, the other ones won't either. And I also borrowed a friend of mine's Joker head, just to make sure that, it seems that the Harley Quinn's keys are great, but the Joker seem to be different of each one. So what I did is I gave it a little bit of a wiggle room, as you can see, just to make sure any head that goes in there fits. So I wanted to make sure, I covered all my bases with it. So that's what I came up with. But the real cool thing about this Joker head, if you want to get in a little closer, I repainted him from scratch. Let's see. As you can kind of see. There we go. Let's kind of... There. So with this Joker head, I gave him a really dark, sinister look. I did the metallics for the earpieces to make it look like it's latex, and I just did nice dirty teeth, and I didn't give him the bright red lipstick because I thought that looked a little weird. So that's what I did, and then you can kind of see in the back of it, he's got the little hair in the back and just a nice little latex going. And sinister eyes, and I gave it a little bit brighter white makeup just to kind of be in sync with the Harley face, because you figure if he's got the Harley mask on, he's going to be a little bit sinister looking. So that is my little idea of custom bases for the premium format of Joker and Harley Quinn. So if anyone's interested, visit my site. They'll be up for grabs. Now we'll go into the video of how, it all works out with putting in the magnets. But that is pretty much what it looks like. So you can give you an idea of the scale with the Harley Quinn, and it gives you a chance to not let the extra head sit in the box. So now you can have them displayed next to them. So let's go on to showing you how to put the magnet in. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you how to put the magnet in. It's pretty simple. All you need yourself is some glue. You can use super glue, but be very careful. Too much super glue will make it cloudy in there. But any of this BSI glue that you can get from hobby stores online for statues, this stuff is really good stuff to use. It doesn't really cloud. You need a marker and either a toothpick, a plastic, you know, something, maybe a piece of plastic, whatever. You don't want to use metal because the metal will suck to the magnet, and if you try to do it and pull it, it becomes a mess. So all you have to do is take the magnet, put it to the bottom of your Joker head, because not all Joker heads will probably be the same, and you take your marker and you mark the bottom of it. So now when you mark the bottom of it, you got a little black mark on there, and that lets you know that black mark's got to go facing down. So all you have to do is next is you take your glue, you drop your glue in there, don't fill it up too much, just a little bit, and then once you get that going, you take your magnet and then you make sure you try to get it correctly, and then you have your piece of wood, toothpick, you push it down and let it sit. If you have your stuff zip kicker or Insta-Set, you can do a couple of drops in there to drop it real quick. Once it's all set and done, pretty much it's all good, and then you got your Joker head and it goes on the base no problem. And then you can see you can lift up the head and the Joker base won't really fall. You could probably smack the head off, of course, if you hit it, but you want to be careful because it's the way the angle is, but that's how it works out. So we'll go back to the other room, we'll show you the rest of the statues, and then go from there. Alright, so that's how you put the magnet into the base. So that's pretty much what I came up with. Hopefully you guys like the idea. Gives you a really cool display option now. Visit my website on the for sale section, and more videos to come.